The night my daughter was dragged into hell, the world did not end. That was the cruelest part. The stars stayed where they were, the wind still moved through the trees, and people slept peacefully while my entire universe collapsed into screaming fire. It started with a mark. A burning symbol appeared on her back, carved into her skin like it had always belonged there. She was only 8 years old. She cried without understanding why it hurt, why shadows whispered her name, why the air around her felt wrong. The priest said it was a curse from before she was born. A debt unpaid. Hell had come to collect. They tried prayers, they tried holy water, they tried chains of silver and salt circles on the floor. None of it mattered. At midnight the ground split open beneath her bed, and hands made of smoke and ash pulled her down while she screamed for me. I grabbed her arm, felt her fingers slipping, and then she was gone. The smell of sulfur stayed behind like a promise. For weeks I wandered between churches, ruins, and forbidden places, searching for anything that could bring her back. That was when I heard the name whispered by a blind woman at the edge of the desert, the Lamias, ancient beings older than demons, older than angels, serpent queens who lived beneath the world and traded in souls, flesh, and fate. Everyone warned me, the Lamias do not help without taking everything. They do not lie, but the truth they offer destroys you. Still, I followed the path they described, down through broken stone and forgotten tunnels, into a cavern that breathed like a living thing. They were beautiful in a way that hurt to look at, half woman, half serpent, scales shining like wet obsidian, eyes glowing with ancient hunger. Their voices slithered into my mind instead of my ears. They already knew why I was there. Your daughter burns in hell, they said. Her soul screams, but it is not broken yet. I begged. I humiliated myself. I offered gold, blood, my life. They laughed softly, coils tightening around the stone floor. We do not want your death, they said. Death is cheap. We want your humanity. They explained the price slowly, savoring each word. To pull my daughter from hell, I would have to become one of them. Not fully Lamia, but no longer human. My body would change. My hunger would change. I would lose the warmth that made me who I was. Love would become something distant, like a memory from another life. I would live long, but never live peacefully. And when my daughter grew old and died, I would still be here. I hesitated for exactly 1 heartbeat. They began the ritual. The pain was beyond screaming. My legs fused and twisted, bones melting and reshaping. Scales tore through my skin. My heart slowed, each beat heavier than the last. I felt parts of myself burn away, fear, mercy, the simple joy of breathing as a human. Through it all I held on to one thing, her face. When it was over, I could smell hell on myself. They opened a rift, a wound in reality, and pushed me through. Hell was endless torment layered upon torment. Screams formed the walls. Fire moved like water. I felt it trying to claim me, but I no longer belonged there. I hunted through the inferno like a predator, tearing through demons with claws that were not meant to exist. I found her chained to a pillar of bone, smaller than I remembered, weaker. When she saw me, she cried, not in fear, but in relief. That nearly broke what little humanity I had left. I shattered the chains and carried her out as hell collapsed behind us, enraged at what had been stolen. The Lamias kept their word. My daughter was free. The mark faded. She could sleep again. She laughed again. She grew. But she noticed the changes in me, why I no longer aged, why I could not stand the sun for too long, why I never ate at the table with her. I watched her childhood from the shadows, protecting her from things she could not see, killing monsters before they reached her dreams. One night, when she was grown, she asked me the truth. I told her everything. She cried and said she was sorry. I told her never to be. I would make the same choice again without hesitation. She lived a full life. Loved, had children. When she died, peacefully, surrounded by family, I did not cry. I could not. The tears no longer came. Now I remained beneath the world, guarding the borders of hell, feared by demons and remembered by Lamias as the man who paid the ultimate price. I am no longer human. I am no longer a father in the way I once was. But somewhere beyond fire and darkness, my daughter's soul is safe. And that was worth everything.